We live in a time of rapid, often unsettling change, inspiring mixed feelings of dread, anxiety, anticipation, and hope.
In the midst of this turbulence, I want to tell you that there's hope because if they can do it, so can you.
This is your show, and it dives deep into every emotion that we have gone through in sad and happy times.
This is what binds us together, our experiences in life, our goals. We can do it.
You can be funny, stressed, and still be graceful.
Hello, friends. Welcome to the first episode of If They Can Do It. Woo. Welcome, Jay.
I'm excited. I need to grab my glass.
Yes, we're gonna cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone. Today we are joined by. I'm gonna taste it actually. Very nice.
Remember,
Okay.
the champagne is like life. It's a balance right now.
Yes.
So let's hope it stays balanced for the rest of the show.
I hope so.
We'll see.
Guys, today we are actually joined by some of our friends and family. I mean, this is what this show is about, okay? The show is about us, how we go through life, and when you look at my life as a surgeon, as a mom, and if someone is at the beginning of their career or wherever you are in your career, you think, okay, how does she do it? But you know that there's so many struggles that I, as an individual, as well as so many other people in this life, go through to get to the point where they are. And even when they are, there's more struggles that we put through every day.
Sure, that's life. And this is the perfect title for anyone who is trying to achieve a goal, whether it be a profession, a family, getting married, traveling the world. We all have our own goals out there. So this is the perfect title because at some point we will all have to overcome obstacles. And I'm curious, as the show goes on and progresses, to learn how other people overcome obstacles, because I'm always trying to learn more and take things in and just, go through experiences the best way I can. And so today I'm going to learn a little bit about your experiences.
Oh my
and,
goodness. Yes. Do you really want to know about my experience?
I do. I mean, you're a successful surgeon. Who wouldn't want to get some pointers from you? Look how beautiful you are.
That's very, very sweet.
I'm not a doctor. I'm a trainer and a mom. And so I will take all the knowledge I can get.
And I'm going to take all the knowledge from you, Jay, as well as all of our amazing guests that are going to be part of this show.
I can't wait.
Speaking of guests, next week we're going to be speaking with a dermatologist, and the week after we're going to speak to cardiologists and so on and so on. So basically, you see the trend. We're going to be speaking to these individuals who are just basically very accomplished. And some of them are just like me and Jay. They are also moms, wives, and they run these beautiful, amazing practices. And so, but when I talk to them, and these are my friends, when I talk to them, they have struggles every day. So speaking about struggles.
Sure. I'm an open book. What do you want to know?
Oh my gosh. Okay, just today, for instance.
Sure.
Just today to get
Before
to the
we
point.
dig into super deep.
Yeah.
Here we
just
go.
get-
Let's just do it.
Just for me to be sitting
Sure.
right here, it took a village to be.
For sure.
I had to call in my mom, to call in my nanny, to change things around a million times just so I can be sitting here.
Okay,
right?
so really quick. So for people that don't know you and don't know how accomplished you are,
Okay.
I don't want you to have to toot your own horn and talk about all your accolades, but you have accomplished a lot. So before we talk about all the struggles, can you just tell me about how you got to where you are today? Successful surgeon, mother, wife. That takes a very strong woman. So advice, how did you do it?
So, let me give you a little bit of a background as to how where I grew up, because
Please.
it will kind of put it in perspective. Okay, so I was born in Middle East, in Iran. When I was 13 years old, my family decided to get up and move. Okay, we were religious minorities in Iran. The thing is that some people know this and some people don't, but Iran was a very free society back in 1950s, 1960s, just like US, okay? Then in 1979, there was a revolution. I don't know if you heard of that revolution in Iran. And basically, it was an Islamic revolution. And the Islamic the government became, from a secular, it became a Islamic government. So everything changed like literally overnight, guys. People like my mom who weren't even Muslim, all of a sudden now have to wear cover hijab, cover their body. I mean, they were kicked out of universities, these people that didn't belong to the faith of Islam. Not to say anything negative about the faith, because Islam is a beautiful faith.
Right.
People are beautiful, but these people basically just stick the name up to that and just went and
Turned the world upside down.
Exactly.
And at 13, I can't even imagine a girl going into her teens when so many things are changing.
Yes.
Emotions are everywhere,
My
and
mom
here you are.
My mom hated it.
I have
Rebellious
I
teenager.
have one girl out of four kids. I am glad for only one. So I
Terrible.
can't imagine what your mother had to go through having kids and having such a dramatic change.
Such a dramatic change. I mean, we got up and left because my dad was actually put in jail. He basically started speaking about his religion to someone, and the government somehow found out, because they have all kinds of spies, okay?
Sure.
So they
Oh my
found out,
goodness.
and then they put him in jail. And as soon as he was out of jail, we're like, okay, we're getting up and
Time to
leave,
go.
because just 2 months before that, another friend of our family was executed by electric chair. Can you believe it?
No.
Because of that. Okay, it's not to turn things sour and
right.
somber.
But that is a
basically,
huge part of your life.
that
right
was
there.
a huge part of my life. It was
Right.
a turning, we think about things that are turning points in our life. That was a turning point. I mean, we went from a completely closed society to now we moved to Austria. Okay, we escaped the country.
At 13?
At 13.
Okay, 13, moved to Austria.
Moved to Austria, and then we were in Austria, and okay, my mom's not a Muslim. We're not a Muslim family. I mean, I don't really practice any religion right now, and I have every respect for everyone that
Sure,
practices.
right.
But my mom was in a cultural shock. Okay, so was basically there. She had her cover and everything. She just refused to take it off. It was just like I don't know what to do in this situation,
Right. Right.
So it took a little bit of a adjustment. I'm like, Mom, come on, like you look a little ridiculous. You don't have to. And she's like, but I can't. It became part of her,
Right.
So
When you grow your whole life thinking one thing, and
Yes.
someone comes and just tells you can't do something overnight,
yeah.
I can see how
And
it
then
can affect
switching
somebody
back.
and a child and a family, and then the fact you had to move around at such an age
Yes.
where you're really just coming into your own. It definitely didn't define you, but it definitely plays a role in who you are.
Absolutely. I feel that at that point, we had I owed to my parents to do the best that I can, because they got up and left. My mom was a midwife for 20 years. My dad was had a business, was a business owner there, and they basically just dropped everything to come here
And
because they moved because of us and our future. So I owed to her to work hard, and that's what I did. We came here and we moved around like a ton. So we moved one place to another. But basically, I went to school in St. Louis. I actually majored in biomedical engineering. Can you believe it?
Wow.
I became an engineer
Smarty
first.
pants. Okay, well, did not know that. It's just another notch to Team
Yeah.
Mona. Wow.
Dude, I mean, okay. So
So brilliant is one thing we can use to describe you. Okay, let's keep the list going. No,
You're so kind.
no. It takes. Not everyone can go to school for engineering in the first place, and then you went from engineering. What was next after engineering?
And after that, I worked, for a year, and I honestly was like, this is not for me.
Right.
Have you ever been in a situation where you're sitting at a desk, you're trying to solve the mystery of a medical mystery or something, and you're like, but I have zero interaction with people. This is my whole. So
You don't feel fulfilled.
I was not fulfilled.
Okay.
So I went and basically did what's called observership of different specialties, and I decided at that point I wanted to become an oral maxillofacial surgeon. Can you believe it? I saw my first case of gunshot wound to the face, and I was like,
Oh my gosh.
I must be sick.
No, it became a passion.
It became my
takes
passion.
a certain person. That's every
Yes.
aspect of life. It takes a certain person to want to work with feet. It takes a certain person
Absolutely.
to want to work with skin.
Absolutely.
With athletes. It doesn't
Yes.
matter. It's just that was your calling.
What about you?
What about me? I'm
Yes.
So, like before, I am a mother of 4. I have 3 boys and 1 girl. I had four kids in 4 years. Some were surprises.
4?
Yeah, some were
Which one
surprises.
Which one was a surprise?
They all were.
Oh my gosh.
No, in some shape or form, they all were. So
Do you want to know something? so are our kids.
Do you not know how it works? I'm like, well, I'm a
super
trial and error
fertile.
kind of girl right there. So there you go. No, but okay, so I'm starting with that because I think motherhood, it's a very important part of my life. But it's not the only thing about me.
Absolutely.
But I am very blessed. I feel very honored to be a mother. So I want to start with that. But if you want to go back, my degree is in sports broadcasting or journalism. So my passion started, I was very fortunate at an early age to get some amazing opportunities. I started out working the Jumbotron at the Dallas Stars games when I was a sophomore in high school.
Whoa.
So the kiss cam and like happy birthdays.
No big
I
deal,
was underneath
guys.
the rink, like typing in people's names. It was really fun. And then I got
Dream job.
opportunities to work with FSN and CBS Sports, and I got an internship with ESPN. So things were really on the
off.
rise, taking off, and where it really changed and kind of set my life to where it is now. I was interning with CBS Sports, and I was at Dallas Cowboy training camp, and I was currently at Mizzou studying journalism, and I had 2 weeks before I was reporting back to school, and I was on the sidelines at one of the practices in San Antonio, and somebody from the Dallas Cowboys broadcasting department says, "Hey, do you want to be our fall intern? It's not
Ooh.
paid,
Yeah,
but
doesn't matter.
but you'll go." And I was
That's a
like,
shoe in.
wow, that's a lot
Did
to
you
think
take it?
about. Oh, of course I took it. So I called
Okay,
the
okay,
school
good.
with a week left before I was supposed to be back.
Okay.
I withdrew myself. I applied for schools around here. I wanted to go to TCU, but TCU was like, "You're gonna have to start over again. We're not going to accept any of your credits." And so I was like, "Yeah, that doesn't sound very enticing to me." So
No,
So
no,
I
thank you.
finished at UTA,
Next.
and I ended up interning. And I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason. And I was at one of the radio shows, and the female host got stuck in traffic and was unable to be there the first
It
show.
was meant to be.
So they threw me in, and so I got to do
Yes.
3 shows for
Sorry.
the rest of the season,
For
and
forever.
it was an amazing opportunity. And my husband was playing for the Cowboys, did not know him when I started working there, and actually did not meet him through the Cowboys.
Oh.
Met him.
Completely
and
different.
Completely different. We ended up, our first date, we played soccer, and
Oh my God.
my husband I'm married to, currently the kicker for the New England Patriots.
No
We'll
big deal,
be-
guys.
We'll be free agents in a couple of weeks, so who knows what's going to happen. But yeah, and
Maybe
so
Cowboys again? I don't know.
Jerry Jones, if you're watching, we live close. I
Yes.
wouldn't say no.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. If the
so
number's
yeah.
right. If the number's
No, if the opportunity comes, we're there.
Okay,
Woo!
all right.
But
That'd be
yeah,
awesome.
so I was doing sports broadcasting, ended up meeting Nick, dating Nick, and he gets a job with the New York Jets, and so we moved up there. I ended up having kind of to put my career on hold because the NFL is very transient. You're constantly moving.
Yeah.
Contracts are guaranteed but not guaranteed. You could say you have a 3-year deal, it could be a 1-year deal. So we moved around. We were actually fortunate enough to be in New York for 7 years. I got to do stories for the NFL. I worked for the NBA for 5 years doing freelance. So it was really fun. And
fun.
yeah, so I've been a football wife for the past 12 years.
But you told me a couple of weeks ago you took an initiative in St. Rita's, which is it's a Catholic school, correct? It's a Catholic school
so
in.
yeah.
So what are you doing with that?
Okay, well, so I'm somebody who likes to work. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I give 100% to my kids, but at the same time, I'm someone who I feel like I have a lot to offer besides just being a mom, so I like to do something on the side, something that can keep my brain constantly growing. I like to challenge myself, and so I got pregnant with the twins, and I started reading about ways to stay in shape and ways to have a really smooth pregnancy, and there was no literature out there. And so it was very frustrating. I was reading things that in my head, I grew up playing soccer my whole life, saying, consume 3,000 calories a day, drink milkshakes, eat whatever, all calories are equal. And I was like, that can't be. You need to gain 60 pounds to have a successful pregnancy. And in my head, I'm thinking, yeah, I'm not too sure about that.
Yeah.
So Right after the twins were born, I ended up going back to school to become a trainer, fitness instructor, kind of a little bit of everything. Went to the National Academy of Sports Medicine, got certified, and then went back and became a pre and postnatal trainer so I could help other people
Yes.
who had the same issues as I did, who had no clue. And so that, for the past 7 years, has become my passion. I'm a big believer in people getting up and moving. I'm not going to say working out, because you don't have to work out to be healthy. I'm talking about standing up, moving your body, moving those muscles, working, going on walks,
And
taking the stairs.
When she's saying that, she's not joking, guys. Because I mean,
I'm hardcore.
Also,
Yes, I
not
know.
a lot of people know, but we are neighbors.
We are.
So I see.
She sees me doing sprints
I
and
literally
shuttle runs
see
down
her.
down the street.
With
People
the
are like,
dog, with the kids, it doesn't matter.
doesn't-
But
yeah.
this is how you fit it into your life. I mean,
It's a lifestyle.
So, for sure. I mean, when you think about things that, we keep, I can't do it because I don't have time.
excuses.
Excuses, for sure.
Yes.
But I mean, you don't make any, there's no excuses in your household.
No, this is my mindset, and this
Yes.
is not everybody's mindset. My mindset is everything adds up. All right, and there's always a way. You just have to figure it out. Life is a
Absolutely.
puzzle. So, for me, people ask, how are you able to work out and still have a family and still do everything? Well, my family is my first priority, but I have to take care of myself to be a good mom. So
Yes.
how can I do something for myself that's going to make me feel good, be a better mom? So for me, when I had the twins, I have never had a nanny. I know I'm crazy. I have 4 kids. I'm with them
don't
all
know
the
how you do
time.
that.
And so I started breaking up my day into 10-minute segments. So
Oh,
I would do 10 minutes of
interesting.
something. So maybe 10 minutes of push-ups. And then 2 hours would go by, the babies would feed, and then they'd be asleep for 20 minutes. I would do 10 minutes of little cardio in my living room
Wow.
with no equipment.
Hardcore.
Then no. I
Girl,
just,
you just do
everything
it.
adds up. You just
Yes.
make it work for you.
But if you don't do it, then next thing you know, the baby's up and you're gonna be taking care of the baby.
And you know what? You're probably more tired than you would be if you got
Yes.
up and moved
It's
your
very
body.
true.
So
The
that's what
endorphins.
I'm trying to stress is fitness should be a lifestyle, and it's not an easy lifestyle to get into, but once you get into
Yeah.
it, it's addictive, like a
Yes.
lot of things. And the endorphins go and the natural highs, and you can be a happier person. And so I'm trying to educate people about moving their body.
Very, very important.
And right now, my big project is getting fitness in
Yes.
schools, and I'm very passionate about that. And I will only talk about a little bit today because I'm sure it'll come up in further conversations down the road, because there's a huge problem right now in the United States. It's not so
Huge.
much around the world, but in the United States right now,
Yes.
there's a huge problem with childhood obesity, the lack of physical or exercise kids are getting in school. And so my big goal down the road, and this is a big goal, and I think it's important to have little goals and big goals, is to make it to where there is certain time throughout the day to implement workouts and fitness into classrooms that's mandatory.
Okay.
Because right now, for
Very,
example,
very important.
in our school, they have a 20-minute recess after lunch. They don't have PE every day. It's 3
Really?
days a week. So if my kid does not have PE for the day, they are moving 20 minutes out of
That's
an
it?
8-hour day.
Oh my gosh. For
A
like
6-year-old is
Yeah.
moving 20 minutes
Not
out
enough.
of an 8-hour day. And so you're wondering why so many kids are misbehaving. You have so many kids who can't concentrate. You have so many kids who may have anger issues. I have so many of my moms who train with me thinking my kids have ADD. No, your kids don't have ADD. They're like any 6-year-old kids.
Yes.
They need to move their body.
Yeah.
They need to get the energy out, and they have no
sure.
way to do it.
For
and
sure.
so, over the course of the show, I will be
I can't wait.
giving my ideas. I'm working with different schools right now in Dallas to help build a program to where I'm making videos I send to the schools. No equipment's necessary. It
That's
can be done
awesome.
from their desk.
Yeah.
It's 10 minutes. You can watch it
They just
anytime
need to
throughout the day.
implement it. They just need to implement
Everything
it.
adds up.
Speaking of moving the body, so my daughter, for instance,
Right.
she's 3 years old and she's in preschool, and my show, premise of the show is really how some people, us, others, how they get to the point where they are. But my daughter, she has to jump around, okay, to get some energies out, and not only would I have to worry about her behavior, but also I worry if she doesn't do enough, how she misbehaves, and if she misbehaves, then if she's going to, how her peers are
Right.
going to be, right?
Right.
So my daughter, has a little bit of a speech delay. So my husband and I would always worry about her, like constantly worrying about her, okay? The
Sorry, I've had this cough for a month now. But
that's
yes.
all right. And I feel that when, the times and days where she is more active, she is better in all aspects of being a 3-year-old,
Right.
But when she is, she may not be as active, or she is just, maybe sitting and, I don't know, doing stuff. She's just not as much. The reason why I worry about her is, and just really all of us worry about
Sure.
our kids, is I worry about bullying, okay?
Right.
And I feel that another turning point in my life, which really prompted me to make this show, was something of my past that happened that made me think very differently about life, okay?
And what was that?
So this is 2000. Okay, so picture 2009. I worked very, very hard to go get into dental school. Would you like some water?
I've had this. Sorry.
Maybe some champagne.
I might need to chug it at this point.
Jug it.
I've had this cough for a month and it triggers and I can't stop it. And
Coughs, by the way, are terrible around this area. So,
yes.
But what I was gonna say is, okay, so in 2009, I was in dental school. Okay, so I was, again, my whole life was set. I felt like I worked really hard to get to the point where I
Right.
was to apply to schools. Okay, it was my 3rd year of school. Okay, I was applying to residencies, and at that point, I was doing what's called externships. You know what an externship is?
I know what an internship is.
Okay.
Okay, so
an externship.
Okay, what-
So it's
no,
basically
no,
someone
please
from
tell
the
me.
outside. Okay.
Okay.
So a student generally come in for basically some mini internship. Okay, you
Okay.
come in and you do a little bit of shadowing, and a little bit actually basically being an intern of the school. Yeah, that's my
Your
co-residents.
crew.
My crew. So picture this: you work so hard your whole life. Okay, you're at
Okay.
a point where you're like ready to apply, and
Right.
I go on several different externships, and it's basically a way so that you can make make your face known and try to do a good job, and maybe potentially those residency consider you better. Okay, so I went to this residency. I was literally on call for 2 weeks. Okay, I was on call for 2. Do you know what it means to be on call for 2 for a game
don't
week
sleep,
straight?
right?
You do not
You don't
sleep.
sleep.
You're sleep deprivated. But I was a champ. I I
course you
just
were.
did it. There was a point where literally I did not sleep for 72 hours.
And is
I
that
had-
legal these days for them not, I mean, can you even be on call for 2 weeks at a time now?
So off the records.
Off the records,
Off the records.
okay.
They make nowadays because they don't want residents to overwork. They make them do a log, okay, of the time. So you're not supposed to go certain over. But off records, I don't believe that. There's still
Right.
people like,
Right.
especially interns, they work really hard. So, I went to this amazing externship. When I was with some other students who were there, and I felt like I did an amazing job. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Here's Mona Stone. Okay, I wasn't a Stone back then. I was a Mona Kalaya. Okay, I got married and I changed my last name to my husband. So I came out and I'm like getting ready to apply. So there's a website, and still is the case, where you would go to get information about different like residencies and
Sure.
things like that, and people just post their experiences about them. So I was getting ready to apply, and then one day I was in this website and I see this very negative post about this particular externship, this program, residence program that I was in, and I was just thinking, oh my gosh, what is this person? It's anonymous. You don't
Sure,
know who's
right,
written it,
right.
right? What is this person talking about, right? Why are they so negative about this? Like, okay, why would you do this to yourself? Like, and then next thing you know what happened?
What?
The person that replied to that was a resident whom I knew from that residency, and they started attacking me.
You, out of nowhere. Did
I-
they think that
from
you were the
nowhere.
one that posted it?
Yes. Can you
Oh,
believe
no.
it?
Well, I can believe how people these days can
Yeah.
assume things.
Can assume things. And so it was a complete
Your heart
assumption.
must have dropped.
Oh my gosh. Because I worked so hard to get to where I was, and I was basically ready to like apply to residencies. And then this person, you know, says, oh my gosh, this dumb girl, so-and-so from Kansas City, you know, you are terrible anyway. And oh my God, do you think it stopped right there? There was hundreds and hundreds of posts about from all these different residents.
After that post?
After that. And all these other, like, even program, like, faculty, doctors, they were like, we're gonna blacklist you from getting into any residencies. Can you believe it?
No.
So I'm like, this is insane.
So what did you do? I mean,
I messaged the person.
Besides having a mini meltdown.
Yeah, what would you
which
do? I don't
have
know.
a mini meltdown.
Mini
and-
meltdown.
Right, which is totally acceptable.
Yeah.
No, what did you do? Because obviously
So-
you overcame it. So I'm curious
I
how.
did eventually, yes. But okay, so I messaged this person. I was like, hey, so-and-so, this is a terrible thing that this person posted. Basically, I was trying to hint them, hey, obviously it's not me. And
Right.
they never responded. Of
course.
And, then I went on to, I was like, oh my gosh, I got to do something about this. So I tried to get some legal advice on it. But I was also applying, I was a student, I was broke.
Did that affect you getting a job? I mean, I would hope it did. I would hope that an employer would be able to look past
Yes. No,
petty little comments and actually look at credentials and experience.
It came up in my interviews. It came up in my. I went to 20 different interviews for my residency, and it came up in probably 50% of it. And I was like, I was sitting there defending myself, but not myself because that was not.
That wasn't you.
That
The
wasn't me.
person that they were talking about was not you.
So the reason why I wanted to pull, obviously I overcome because this.
Look at where you are today. Yes, you overcame.
I did not match into residency that year. I did an internship. Everything worked out. I mean, I did an amazing job, so much so that the program director of the internship, where I was an intern, who was a kind of a little sexist person.
Right.
He was like, I want to take you in like right now. Okay, fine. But the reason why I wanted to pull up this
Topic,
story
yeah.
is because I feel very strongly about these mean, negative bullies that are in our society. Okay, and they exist in every shape and form,
Right.
and they affect us. They affect us directly. They affect our kids. I mean, I as a mom of two with a little bit of a speech delay child who is just like the sweetest girl ever, but I worry who's gonna be bullying my child next, right?
And
So,
you know where that comes from? As a mom, no, I'm a big believer in being present in your child's life. If you're present, and my kids are young, when they're in high school, this may be completely different. I try to talk to my kids as much as possible.
For sure.
I consider myself a nosy mom. I'm not like opening things. I mean, they're 6, so it's not like they're writing letters to people yet, but
we hope not.
I like to know what's going on.
Yes.
I tell my friends, I tell people, other parents, if something happens with my child, please tell me. Feel free to tell me. I would rather you tell me and me work this out with my son than finding it out from a third person
Yes.
that this has been going on and I don't know the real story. This way, I can make it a learning experience for my child.
Yes.
I'm not, I have really good kids, but I'm also very diligent about talking about treating people with respect, treating people the way that you want to be treated. So I think it stems a lot, not all the time, because every household's different, but a lot of it stems from home life. I feel like how your husband treats you, how my husband treats me, how I communicate with my family. Kids are sponges. They're absorbing everything. They see everything. So if they see me constantly yelling at Nick, well, that's their norm. So why would they not do it at school?
Yeah.
And so I think as parents, we need to really focus and get to know our children and teach them the fundamentals at an early age, right versus wrong. So when something does happen, then it's not, I mean, if something were to happen at school, I feel like I would have a good relationship with my son, be able to talk about it and be like, listen, you made a bad decision. Do you see why this hurt this person? Maybe that was not your intention, but this is how they feel. And then we can backpedal and we can work from there.
Yeah.
And so the sooner I feel like we can talk to our kids, the better, so
sure.
that you don't have to go through that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, I don't, no one wants to go through bullying, but it's the bullying just does not end there. I mean, I remember being bullied in residency, not just me, being a female surgeon.
I was going to ask. That was my next question. Do you feel like as a woman that
for
you,
sure.
right? Well,
Oh my
in a
gosh.
prominently
All the time.
male profession,
Definitely.
and I'm the same way. I did sports broadcasting. It's
Which
the
is
same
male.
thing,
Yes.
which is male dominated.
Yeah.
And so you have to be, you have to be tough.
Thick skin.
You have to have thick skin.
Yes.
You have to have determination.
Absolutely.
You have to be able, I don't want to say overlook things, but at
Yes.
the same time you have to be able to pick and choose your battles and to persevere.
Yes.
And I
think-
can see that through you, that
sure.
nothing's going to hold you down.
No, I mean, on the literally daily, I have to put up with so much, as you do, But I think our point is, if you're listening right now, if you're looking at us right now, you're hearing this, if there's somebody who is bullying you, and by bullying, I don't mean like punching you or something like that. I'm talking about like bullying you, like, bringing your spirit down. If they're punching you or they're physically hurting you, you gotta report it to the police. It's a crime, okay? Not to say that bullying, emotionally is not a crime, but it is not a crime in the book of police, okay? So, but if you have a bully right now who is someone who's bullying you, you gotta stand up to them, and you gotta either ignore them, block them, do something about them. Bullies exist in every shape and form. Bullies are, especially nowadays with the social media thing, they're behind their computers.
Right.
They can literally, I know friends of mine who are influencers in social media, and they get affected by these like negative comments. Like it is insane.
But if you put yourself out there like
do.
that, you have to understand that not everyone is a good person inside.
No. There's
It
mean
comes with
people.
the territory. Not that it's right or wrong, but if you're putting yourself out there like that, it's going to happen. So, and you said, okay, so for me, and I want to stress this, for people that are watching or listening to this, we are just two moms. We are two moms who are passionate about what we do, are passionate about our family. So why would you want to listen to two random moms? Well, we are two moms who have persevered through bullying, struggles, moving around. We're real. We're never going to sugarcoat things. We're just going to say it how it is. We're going to live through real life experiences. But I've just got to say something about this one right here. If we could go over every show that we're going to have, and she could tell you about every single person that's going to be on here, it is an all-star lineup of people. I mean, doctors, successful women that range across the board, from surgeons to cardiologists, to dermatologists, to sisters that have gone in and created this amazing practice. I mean, if nothing alone, these people are all have achieved so much that me as a person, I can't wait to listen and learn more.
Yes.
I'm constantly trying to learn more. And so I'm excited to be part of the show because I'm just ready to learn more, and you've picked amazing people to be here.
And I picked the best co-host.
No,
Yes.
I'm just loud.
Yes. That's
yeah.
why I picked you, because you're so loud.
Yes, it's true. I like to talk.
Who is going to be the loudest person?
No, but it's true. But you know what? They're all people that have overcome things.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, they're relatable. Maybe not every week. Maybe you've never gone through something they're talking about, but I promise you'll learn something. And the next week there might be someone you might have questions, and they may answer all your questions right there. So
we're gonna dig deep. Yes, we're gonna dig deep, and we're gonna ask them kind of like not tough questions, but questions that are more real and not really superficial. Okay, and that's gonna be the premise of this show, to dig deep and to get that truth out, and to really dig deep into seeing how they are, where they are, and really
how they did it.
And also how they are doing it on a daily, because
Right.
ladies and gentlemen, this is life. Life is hard. Okay, and so we struggle every day with things, but there's ways that we can maybe manage things better and do a better fit for our life. Fit things better in our life.
Right. Well, I'm excited
Yes.
because you're in the medical field.
Yes.
You see this all the time. I'm a trainer. I believe in health and fitness.
So good.
And so I'm in my 30s right now, and I train over 50 women who are constantly coming in saying, I got this done, I got that done, I need to get this done. And I'm constantly thinking, am I behind? Should I be doing this? Is this normal? Is this not? And I feel like I'm a majority of people out there. And do I need to be spending all this money on skincare? Do I need to be spending money on Botox and like people are
kinds of
getting
stuff.
boob jobs. So we'll
Yes.
have people on there are going to talk about implants. Like
Yes.
just it's about health. And we're at a good age, and right now we're at a good time in our lives to start figuring out how we can take care of ourselves.
Absolutely.
And
cheers to that. Question for you, so we can
Yeah.
close the show.
Yeah.
Favorite designer? Did you pick it?
No, so I don't have a favorite.
Yes.
My fashion mantra, or when I'm into fashion, it's all about my mood for the day. Okay. So I like to think of myself as someone who's constantly changing. So some days I feel sassy. Some days I feel boho chic. Some days I feel super classy.
Yes.
Some days I've never really done the like grubby, but I live in fitness clothes. So
Fitness clothes.
So if you're
Fitness
asking me
clothes.
my favorite designer, majority of
Have
my
you heard of PE Nation? You should look it up.
I'm gonna look it up.
PE Nation has got really cool fitness stuff.
Well, 90% of my stuff is Fabletics.
Thanks,
and I'll tell you, yeah.
Fabletics,
Kate
yes.
Hudson.
That, yeah.
I have over 50 pair of pants from you.
Oh my gosh,
I'm
you
an
don't.
elite member. I do.
Oh yeah, because
I
they have
do.
some sort of a.
No,
What do
I'm
they
a
have?
bargain shopper. But
Bargain shopper.
Fabletics is
Fabletics.
my, if you're asking my favorite,
Okay.
I wear Fabletics
Fabletics.
because they fit every body type.
Fair enough.
They last for a long time.
What is that other one? Lulu Moon or something?
Oh, no, I don't wear Lululemon.
Lululemon?
I have a hard time
What is
spending
that?
$200 on a pair of leggings when I'm in
Oh
them
my! Is that
all the
how
time.
much they are?
They're up there. People love them. I see the intrigue. They do make.
Okay.
Okay. They do make your butt and legs look decent, but if you come
That's
to
my
me
problem
or
here.
need some pointers, I can do that way cheaper than having to buy a pair of pants.
Love
So
it.
there are little tips I'll be giving throughout this.
Is
the
that
next
does that
couple
involve
weeks.
lots of squats? Because I love squatting.
Oh, squatting's the best way to get that
all right.
booty.
Very good.
There
I
you
can't
go.
wait. Okay.
Good little deep squat. My husband would be
50?
proud I just said that.
Yes.
Sure. You
Cheers.
know what? Why don't we next time let's start like a squat challenge.
Oh my gosh! Really?
Let's do it.
In heels?
Why not? Work a little calf work while we're at it.
All right. Maybe
Yes.
you gotta pay me for this.
You can pay me down the road with
Okay, I got
yes.
it. Okay. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in today. And we can't wait to share next week with you. Next week, we're going to be speaking with Dr. Astalosh, who is a dermatologist from Wisconsin and a great friend of mine, a mom and
Superwoman.
Yeah, superwoman. And it's going to be really, really fun. So tune in next week. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Yep.
And our families, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Cheers.
If they can do it.
Yes.